You work hard, you show up, you do the job, you don't complain, you even got a raise last year. And yet, somehow, you're still stuck. Same apartment, same stress at the end of the month. Same feeling that no matter how fast you run, you're not actually getting anywhere. And here's what's messed up about that. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you made the wrong career choice. It's not the economy. It's not bad luck. It's not that you didn't hustle enough. It's because you're playing the wrong game. And nobody told you there were two games. Your parents didn't tell you. School definitely didn't tell you. Your employer obviously didn't tell you because it's very convenient for them that you don't know. So you kept playing, following the rules, doing everything right. And the cruel joke is you are doing it right. You're just doing it right in a game that was never designed for you to win. That's the conflict. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Here's how game number 1 works. You wake up, you go to work, you trade your time for money. You come home, you spend the money, you wake up, you go to work. Economists have a fancy name for this. They call it earned income. I call it a treadmill with a salary attached. Look at the actual mechanics. You have 24 hours in a day. Sleep takes 8. Eating, commuting, existing as a human being takes another 4. You're left with roughly 12 hours. Out of those, you sell 8 to your employer at a fixed price that he sets, that HR decided based on a job posting they copy-pasted from 2019. That's your income ceiling, not your skills, not your ambition. The decision of one person who has probably never met you. Want more money? Work more hours. Get a side job. Sleep less. Burn out. Get promoted. And now you work even more. But the email signature looks nicer. And the whole time, the system tells you you're doing great. You're responsible. You're building something. No, you're running faster on the treadmill. The treadmill is still in the same place. And here's the end of this game. The finish line they sell you on. Retirement. At 65. If you make it. If the pension actually exists. By then, you get freedom exactly when your body has already started the checkout process. This is not a conspiracy. Nobody sat in a dark room and designed this to trap you. It just evolved that way. And most people never question it because everyone around them is playing the same game. That's what makes it invisible. You're not failing the game. The game has a ceiling built into it, and you just hit it. Before I show you the other game, I want you to answer one question. Not to me, to yourself. Are you happy with where you're going? Not where you are, where you're going 5 years from now, 10 years. If the answer is not really, keep watching. There's a second game. It has completely different rules, and the people playing it are not smarter than you, not more talented than you, and most of them didn't start with more money than you. They just learned different rules. The rule of game number 2 is this. Instead of selling your time, you build or buy things that generate money on their own. Stocks pay dividends while you sleep. Real estate collects rent while you're on vacation. A business runs while you're doing something else. Content you made 2 years ago earns ad revenue today. This is what an asset is. Something that works when you don't. Now look at what changes. In game number 1, you have a ceiling. You physically cannot work more than 24 hours a day. Your body is the limit. In game number 2, there is no ceiling because assets can be multiplied. One asset generates money. You use that money to buy a second asset, then a third. The snowball rolls. And here's the thing people miss. You don't need to be rich to switch games. You need to change the question you're asking. Game number 1. Question: how do I earn more? Game number 2. Question: how do I make money work without me? That shift, that single shift in how you think, is where the gap starts. Warren Buffett bought his first stock at 11 years old with his allowance. He's in his 90s and still going. Not because he's obsessed with money, because he understood the rules of a different game early and never switched back. That's not a story about genius. That's a story about rules. The rules exist. They're available to anyone. Most people just never look for them because they're too busy playing the first game as hard as they can. 2 people, both 28, both making the same salary. Person A keeps playing game number 1. Works hard, spends, saves a little. By 40, slightly higher title, slightly more stress. roughly the same financial position. Person B switches to game number 2, takes 15% to 20% and puts it into assets, reinvests, doesn't touch it. By 40, has a system generating income that doesn't require his time. Same starting point, different rules, completely different outcome. Not talent, not luck, not connections, rules. And the most uncomfortable part of this, nobody forced you to play game number 1. You weren't born into it. You just walked in because that's what everyone around you was doing. And you assumed those were the only rules that existed. They're not. Right now, you're thinking one of two things. Either easy to say, I don't have money to invest, or sounds great in theory, doesn't work in real life. Both of those are game number 1 thinking. I don't have money. You don't start with capital. You start with the question. The first move is in your head, not your bank account. Understanding the rules costs nothing. Acting on a small scale costs very little. Doesn't work in real life. It doesn't work for people who read about it and do nothing. It works for people who started small, stayed consistent, and let time do the heavy lifting. Nobody is saying this is fast. Nobody is saying it's easy. They're saying one thing. Every year you wait costs you more than the year before. That's not motivation. That's just math. I'm not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. I'm not selling you anything. I'm asking you one question. The question most people spend their whole life avoiding. Which game are you playing right now? And did you actually choose it?